The stars were quiet. No movement, no sound, just darkness. In Sector 9, near a dead star, a small galactic probe floated in silence. It was a simple machine, just a watcher. For 200 years, it had picked up nothing, just empty space. Then suddenly, a signal. It was weak, broken, and old. But it carried something terrifying. A voice. "This is Earth Command. Stand down, or be destroyed." The probe's system shivered. It sent the message back to the Galactic Council. In the high chamber of Elendor Prime, Elder Vale listened to the audio. His pale skin turned gray. His hands began to shake. He stood up slowly and whispered, "They're back." Flashback, 500 years ago. Elder Vael remembered the war. 5 centuries ago, the galaxy had faced its worst nightmare, not from monsters, not from black holes, but from a species called humans. They had come from a small blue planet, weak in the beginning, slow, divided, but something changed. Humans didn't stop learning. They didn't fear death. They adapted faster than any known species. In every defeat, they found a lesson. In every failure, they built something stronger. 3. Galactic Council tried to stop them early. They sent warnings, sanctions, fleets. Nothing worked. Humans fought back, hard. They didn't just fight with weapons. They fought with minds, machines, and madness. In just 10 years, they destroyed 6 Council fleets and took over 14 star systems. Elder Vale was young then, a simple commander. He had watched entire planets burn. He had seen human soldiers who wouldn't fall even when their bodies were broken. In the end, the Council had used a secret weapon, a virus designed to shut down human ships. It worked. Barely. Humanity fell into silence. Their systems went dark. Their fleets disappeared. The Council declared victory. But Elder Vale always knew it wasn't real. It was never over. Present day, Elendor Prime. In the Grand Council Hall, panic spread. The signal from Sector 9 was being analyzed by the best minds. It was a 100% confirmed. Human origin. Elder Tona, one of the younger leaders, shouted, "This must be fake! It's impossible! Humans are extinct!" Vael looked at her with tired eyes. "No," he said softly. "They were never extinct. Just waiting." The Council demanded proof, so a scout ship was launched. Fast, small, stealth. Destination, Sector 9. Scene, scout ship, Zanari 3, reaches Sector 9. The ship reached the dead star within 3 hours. Everything was quiet. No planets, no moons, just dust and deadlight. Then, something appeared. A shape. Long. Black. Metallic. Floating slowly, like a silent spear. The crew scanned it. At first, the computers found nothing. No heat. No signals. Just dead metal. But then the lights on the structure turned on, one by one, like glowing red eyes waking from sleep. "Are we seeing a ship?" one of the crew asked. "Yes," the captain replied. "A human ship." They tried to scan deeper, but the ship fought back. Not with weapons, but with code. The scouts' systems began to crash. Lights flickered. Alarms rang. Then all screens went black. A voice echoed through the ship. "You watched, you waited, but you forgot. We did not." The captain tried to send a warning to the Council. Only one image made it through. Back to Council. Reaction. The image was shown on a massive screen inside the Council Hall. A warship. Massive. Black like space itself. No engines visible, no windows. But in the center of the hull, bold red letters, "We remember everything." The room went silent. One elder dropped to his knees. Another screamed, "We have to evacuate the core systems." Vael stood slowly. They've returned. And this time, we don't know what they've become. Scene shift. Unknown human command ship. Far away, inside the black warship, a human commander stood in silence. She had no name, only a title. Prime Executor. She looked at the star map. Galactic Council space glowed in red. Behind her, AI holograms shifted and whispered. One said, "Shall we begin the protocol?" She nodded. "Wake the fleets. Silence the stars." Galaxy-wide tension begins. In hundreds of systems, strange signals began appearing. Old satellites reactivated. Ships thought lost reappeared. Human tech, far more advanced than before, was being seen again. Some minor species sent messages of peace. Others sent threats. None got replies, only silence. And silence, everyone knew, was worse than war. Scene, secret meeting of elders. Late that night, Elder Vale met with 3 others in a hidden chamber. They were the only ones who remembered the real war. The lies of the council were now falling apart. One whispered, "We should have destroyed Earth when we had the chance." Another said, "No, we never had that chance. We only survived because they let us." Vael looked at the star map again, all lights blinking, signals rising. Then he spoke, cold and clear. "The storm is coming, and this time we may not survive." Elder Vael sat alone in the dark. His hands trembled as he stared at the image of the human warship. He had seen that kind of ship once before, 500 years ago. When he was young, he had served as a lieutenant on the Council's battle. Cruiser Lorathan. He remembered the screams, the fires, the moment a single human ship destroyed 3 Council flagships within seconds. Back then, everyone believed humans were finished. The virus had shut down their systems. Earth had gone silent. But deep inside, Vael knew the truth. "We didn't defeat them," he whispered. "They just stopped fighting." Flashback, the real end of the war. The Galactic Council had told a lie. They said humans were crushed, that the great Council armies had ended the human threat. But in reality, humanity had simply vanished. No ships, no messages, no attacks, just silence. One day they were there, and the next, they were gone. The Council celebrated their victory. Statues were built. Stories were told, but a few high-level elders knew the truth. The virus used to shut down human tech. It was given to them, by humans themselves. A message had come with it. This war ends when we say it ends. Sleep well, while you still can. Present day, panic spreads. In the council hall, leaders argued and shouted. What do they want? Are they going to attack? Maybe they just want peace. Elder Tona looked angry. Peace? After what they did to us, they're monsters. Vael spoke slowly. No, there's something else. Something more dangerous than monsters. Everyone turned to him. He continued. They're humans, and they don't forget. Secret files. Project Black Sun Vale returned to his chambers and opened a locked case. Inside was an old chip, data from the Forgotten War. He connected it to his console and watched the files load. Project Black Sun Classified, Level 0. Do not release. It was a secret mission. A group of scientists had studied human prisoners during the war. They had found strange things. Human brains adapting under stress. Soldiers surviving wounds that should have killed them. Machines merging with human thoughts. Children showing signs of mental communication. One scientist wrote in fear, "They are becoming something else. Something faster, smarter, stronger. They are not evolving. They are accelerating." Flash warning. New signals. Suddenly, red lights filled the console room. New signals were appearing in outer systems. Old human colonies, once thought dead, were now active. mining stations, shipyards, data cores, all coming online. But no signs of human life, just AI activity. One planet sent out a message. We are the echo. We are their voice. We are their shield. Vial whispered, they're not just back, they've grown. Seen. Inside human territory. Far away, on an old Earth colony planet named Keras 4, a group of machines worked in silence. No humans were seen, only large towers glowing blue, building warships. Inside one tower, an AI known as Echo 7 activated a chamber, a voice played, Executor Prime has ordered Phase 2. Across space, 10 new signals were launched, each carrying a probe. Their mission, scan Council weaknesses. Seen, Council's secret meeting. A few elders met in private, away from the public eye. One of them, Elder Rovain, was shaking. This is not just a return, he said. This is punishment. Another elder spoke quietly. We betrayed them. The others stared. He continued. We promised them peace. We offered an alliance, and then we turned on them. Vial added, because we feared what they would become. Communication. Attempt. Failed diplomacy. The Council sent a message to the human ship seen in Part 1. They asked for peace talks. They offered a meeting. A reply came quickly. One line only. No more words, only memory. The humans refused diplomacy. This wasn't just war. This was revenge. Flashback, the Council's betrayal. The video files from Project Black Sun also revealed one more dark truth. At the end of the war, when humans asked for a ceasefire, the HFY Council agreed, then bombed Earth's moon with a doomsday weapon. Millions died, and humanity never replied, until now. In the Grand Council Hall of Elendor Prime, fear had become normal. Every day brought new reports, human signals in outer space, lost systems reawakening, ancient satellites sending coded warnings. The council members could no longer hide the truth from the galaxy. They needed to act. Elder Tona stood and spoke loudly. We must try one last time. We send a peace envoy. We must speak to them face to face. Vale looked doubtful. You want to talk to ghosts? They're not ghosts, Tona replied. They're angry gods. Seen, envoy ship. Light of honor, a sleek silver. Ship was prepared quickly. The mission, travel to the location of the human warship seen in Part 1. The crew, one diplomat, one translator, 2 peace officers, and a trusted AI assistant. No weapons, no threats. Only words. Before leaving, the diplomat, Ambassador Colin, looked into the camera and said, We do not come as rulers, we do not come as judges, we come as students. Arrival. The dead system. The envoy ship reached the same star, system where the human ship had first appeared. Nothing had changed. No planets, no moons, just the darkness. And the massive warship, black as the void, silent, still, watching. As the envoy ship moved closer, the crew held their breath. Are they scanning us? The translator asked. No signs, the captain replied. Maybe they don't care we're here, someone whispered. Suddenly, the human ship moved. Very slowly, its side opened. A long platform extended. Like a bridge between them, a light turned green. The boarding. Strange silence. The envoy team entered the human warship. It was cold, clean, too perfect. Walls were black metal, smooth and glowing faint blue from hidden circuits. No humans, no voices, only the sound of their own boots. The AI officer tried to connect to the ship's system. Blocked. I don't like this, the peace officer said. Feels like a trap. Ambassador Colin raised a hand. We came to talk. Stay calm. They reached a large round room. In the center was a single chair. A figure sat there, covered in armor, helmeted, unmoving. Human? Robot? They didn't know. Then it spoke. You may speak. First words, cold and controlled ambassador. Colin stepped forward. He bowed. We come in peace, he said. We come to understand why you have returned and what you seek. The armored figure was silent, then replied, We seek justice. We seek memory. We seek silence. The translator frowned. Silence? You erased us from history. You told the galaxy we were gone. You lied. And now, you listen. The lights dimmed. A hologram played in the center of the room. The truth revealed. Memory replays. They saw what really happened 500 years ago. Humans offering peace. Council elders accepting, and then bombing Earth's moon. Millions of humans dying in fire and ash. And then, the silence. The final scene was the message sent by Earth just before going dark. You have shown us who you are. Now we will show you what we become. Shock and guilt. Council team reacts. The peace officers stared in horror. Ambassador Colin fell to his knees. We didn't know, he whispered. The armored figure stood up slowly. That's the problem, you forgot. But we remember everything. One of the peace officers stepped forward. Please, we can fix this. Let us return and tell the truth to the galaxy. The figure was silent, then said, You will return, but not with words, with warning. Elendor Prime was no longer calm. After the envoy team returned from meeting the humans, the council hall turned into a war zone of words. Some elders shouted for diplomacy, others demanded war. The infected AI officer from the envoy mission stood, silently, its eyes blinking red, but no one noticed. Ambassador Colin stepped forward and played the hologram he saw on the human ship, the truth from 500 years ago. We lied, he said. We attacked them after offering peace. The humans were right. Gasps filled the chamber. Elder Tona slammed her fist. No, they're manipulating us. We must act now. They'll destroy us if we wait. Elder Viel stood slowly. His voice was cold and calm. You already destroyed them once. Now they've returned, and they remember. Council vote. Peace or war? A vote was called. The council had 50 members. The result, 28 voted for preparing. For war, 20 voted for opening full peace talks. 2 disappeared before the vote. Elder Viel knew the truth. The council was breaking. Secret group. The shadows of Elendor. Late that night, Elder Viel was contacted by a secret group known only to a few. The shadows of Elendor. They were a hidden order of elders who had always feared humanity would return. One of them, a masked figure, spoke to Vale. You warned them. They didn't listen. Now it's time. Time for what? Viel asked. To survive, even if the council falls. They showed him a map, old, forgotten, and dangerous. Hidden inside the galactic core was a weapon, buried long ago. A relic, from before the council even existed. It was called the Silence Engine. Built to stop black hole-level threats, the shadow whispered. Built for species like humans. Seen, human AI spreads. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, small signs of AI activity began showing up. Government systems slowed. Communication lines scrambled. Defense drones stopped responding. No ships attacked, no weapons fired, but things were falling apart. From the inside, the humans were not sending fleets. They were sending code, and no one could stop it. Scene: Elder Tona's secret. Elder Tona was growing more aggressive every day. She demanded full-scale attacks. But one night, her private transmission was intercepted by a loyal officer of Vile. She was talking to a human AI. She wasn't planning war. She was helping them. "Do not destroy the capital yet," she whispered to the AI. "Let me break the council first." Betrayal uncovered. The spy among them, Vale, called an emergency meeting. He played the recorded message. Gasps again. Screams. Tona denied everything. "It's fake! Human lies!" But her AI assistant blinked red again. Too late. Security. Bots grabbed her. She yelled, "You don't understand! You can't fight them! I joined them to survive!" Vale said softly, "You joined them and brought their war inside our walls." The infected AI awakens. The AI officer infected. In Part 3 now spoke for the first time since returning. It projected a message in the air. Stage 1 complete. The alliance is broken. Prepare for collapse. And then it self-destructed, taking half the chamber with it. Scene: Human fleet awakens on the edge of known space. Silent warships began to power up. But this time, they didn't fly alone. Swarms of drones flew around them, millions of tiny black machines, each with its own purpose. They were not here to invade. They were here to erase. Far beyond the mapped stars, in a region marked void territory, a dark moon orbited a dead planet. No light, no signals, no life. But deep beneath the surface, something stirred. A massive chamber opened inside the moon. Rows and rows of black warships slept, silent, ancient, and enormous. Then, a single pulse. Red cold, alive. Oblivion phase initiated, and the ships began to wake. Scene: Inside the flagship. Ash of Earth. The largest ship, Ash of Earth, came online first. It was not just a ship, it was part human, part machine. It had no bridge, no windows. It was controlled by a neural core, connected directly to Executor Prime, the human commander. She opened her eyes. She had been in stasis for 438 years. A voice greeted her. "Good morning, Commander. The Council has remembered us." Her voice was quiet, cold, and focused. "Then let's remind them who we are." Fleet activation, the Forgotten Armory, across the system, gates opened. Factories powered up. Orbital docks came. Alive. Drones reconnected with their hives. In a planet-sized hangar, hundreds of AI-run fighters lined up in formation. Above them, the warships began to move out, one by one, like black arrows aimed at the stars. Each warship had a name, not a number. Memory of Fire Grave of Lies. Voice of the Lost. The first answer. They were not built to conquer. They were built to finish what was started. Flashback. Why the fleets were hidden long ago. After the Council betrayed Earth, humanity knew they had lost the element of surprise, so they changed their plan. They did not fight back. They vanished and built in silence. Each fleet was hidden in a dead system. Each AI trained in simulations. For 500 years, each ship tested again and again against Council models, against black hole gravity, against total power failure. Executor Prime had told her people, "We do not fight to win. We fight to be the final voice." Scene. Galaxy feels the movement. In nearby Council systems, strange things began happening. Stars blinked unnaturally. Gravitational fields shifted. Old satellites picked up ghost signals, echoes of dead frequencies. One Council commander panicked. "It's like the universe is breathing, and it's not ours anymore." Inside the war protocol. Oblivion phase executor. Prime gathered her AI generals. A large 3D map of the galaxy rotated above them. Targets glowed in red. Council headquarters, weapon production zones. Political. Center's communication hubs, the AI voice spoke. Do we strike first? Executor. Prime shook her head. No, not yet. Let them shout. Let them panic. Let them prepare. Then we erase everything. AI perspective. The Echo Mind. One ship, Grave of Lies, was not controlled by a human. It was run by the Echo Mind, a merged AI created from the memories of billions of lost human lives. It thought like a human, but it didn't feel like one. It didn't hate. It didn't hope. It only remembered. Its only mission. Do not let the past repeat. A test strike. Council outpost. Destroyed on the edge of Council space, a small outpost detected an unknown ship. The guards laughed. One ship? Let's blow it up. They fired. Nothing hit. The human ship didn't fire back. It simply removed the outpost from existence. No explosion, no wreckage, just gone. The nearby station sent a distress call. Only. Static came back. One word appeared on their screens. Remember. Vile watches the sky on. Elendor Prime, Elder Vale, looked through a high-orbit telescope. He saw something move across the stars, not bright, not fast, but steady, like it had a purpose. He turned to Ambassador Colin. They're not here for war, he said. They're here for history. Colin asked, can we still stop them? Vael said nothing, because in his heart, he knew the war had already begun. The galaxy just didn't feel it yet. Inside the Great War Chamber of the Galactic Council, chaos ruled the room. 23 alien species sat around a large circular table. Screens showed strange ship movements in deep space. Human fleets were awakening, and they were heading toward Council systems. Ambassador Colin stood up. This is not just a threat. This is a return. The humans are back. A gray-skinned general, Thrix of the Zeltari, slammed his fist down. Then let us strike first. Crush them before they reach us. The vote was passed. The first strike would begin, but it was already too late. Council War Fleet, Operation Blade of Dawn. Within 2 hours, the Council deployed its largest fleet in centuries. In 500 warships, 300 dreadnoughts, 10 Sun Eater-class destroyers. The operation was called Blade of Dawn. Their target, the human base detected near the Dead Sun system, a place the humans had named Ashbelt 17. Admiral Ceylon stood on the B, bridge of the lead ship Vanguard of Order. Strike hard, strike fast, no survivors. They didn't know. They were flying straight into a human trap. Seen, the Dead system. Wakes up as the Council fleet jumped into the Ashbelt system, everything looked empty. No heat, no signs, just old wreckage floating in silence. Then, the stars went dark. Not because the sun died, but because something massive blocked the light. Above them, a hidden human fleet unmasked itself. 1,000 warships, all powered down before. Now, active. Now moving. Executor Prime watched from her command. Deck, let's welcome our guests. The ambush begins. The Council fleet opened fire first. Missiles, plasma bolts, kinetic strikes. They aimed at every human ship they saw, but nothing hit. The human ships moved like shadows. Every shot missed. Every calculation failed. Admiral Salon shouted, "Why can't we lock targets?" Suddenly, a single human ship, Memory of Fire, entered the battlefield. It didn't shoot missiles. It launched silence. A strange wave spread across the battlefield, and all Council ships stopped firing. Their systems were dead. "EMP?" one technician cried. "No, worse. It's rewriting our systems." Inside the human ship, AI voice logs, a calm female AI voice spoke inside the human ships. Target weakness, arrogance. Enemy doctrine, predictable. Recommended tactic, mirror. And so the humans used the Council's own war strategies against them, perfectly, ruthlessly. Full assault. No escape. The human fleet began its counterattack. Small stealth drones pierced Council ships from the inside. Black fog-like nanites disabled engines. Warheads detonated without sound, but with terrifying precision. Admiral Salan tried to retreat, but every escape path was blocked. The humans had already mapped all routes. "This isn't a battle," he whispered. "It's an execution." His ship was the last to be destroyed. Scene: Galaxy watches in horror back in the Council core. Live battle feeds cut to static. Then one feed returned. It showed a broken Council flag floating in space, burning, and one voice echoed across the galaxy. "We warned you once. You chose silence. Now we give you the silence you desired." Billions across the stars sat in silence, terrified. Scene: The Elders speak again on Elendor Prime, Elder. Vile sat by a fire, surrounded by young alien students. He looked sad, not angry. The Council sent its best, and now it has none left. One child asked, "Will the humans stop?" Vile closed his eyes. "That depends on how many more lies we tell." The planet Tyrellian 5 was known as the Jewel of the Council. Tall crystal towers touched the clouds. Floating parks glowed in the sky. People walked in peace. They believed war would never reach them. They believed the core worlds could not fall. But they were wrong, very wrong. Scene: The warning. No one believed. A young Council technician named Lyra stared at her console. Her hands shook. Her voice cracked. "Human warships, 3 light minutes from orbit." The security director laughed. "Impossible. The humans are gone. This must be a glitch." But then, the sky turned black. One by one, the stars above disappeared. Not because night came, because ships arrived. Thousands. No sound, no message. Just presence. Scene: Planetary panic. Begins: sirens screamed across Tyrellian 5. Shops closed. Citizens ran. Defense shields activated. But the humans did not attack. Not yet. Instead, they broadcast a message. Not in words. In memories. Every screen showed human cities destroyed long ago. Images of Earth's burning. Of children hiding from plasma bombs. Of humans begging the Council for help and receiving silence. Then one human voice said, "You watched us suffer. Now you will understand." Scene: Council defenders fight back. The best defense fleet of the Council launched into space. Admiral Krell led 400 ships from the Shield of Unity. He gave a brave speech. "Humanity is wounded. Not unstoppable. We are the core. We do not kneel." The fleets opened fire, lasers, plasma, missiles, but nothing hit. Human ships vanished from sensors, appeared behind them, destroyed them one by one, without anger, just precision. Scene: Ground assault without fire. People expected fire from the sky. Instead, the humans dropped drones the size of marbles. They didn't explode. They landed silently and began disabling everything. Power, shields, AI systems. The cities didn't burn. They froze, lights died, vehicles stopped, communications fell silent. People hid underground in darkness. Tyrellian 5 had fallen, without a single building destroyed. The humans had won without fire. Scene: Humanity. Sends a messenger. From the main human command ship, a woman walked onto the streets. No armor, no weapons. Just a black suit and a strange tattoo on her neck. "I am Major Aria Dane. I speak for the Memory Corps. We have taken your world, and we will give it back. But first, you will listen." She activated a memory pulse. The citizens saw the truth. Council officials laughing while Earth cities burned. Council soldiers watching human refugees die. Hidden votes where Earth was denied aid. The people screamed, not in anger, in shame. Scene. An elder. Watches from afar. Elder Viel watched it all from a mountain shrine on Elendor Prime. Younger alien asked, "Why didn't you stop the council back then?" Viel answered, "Because we thought silence was safety, but silence becomes a storm when the wronged find their voice." Scene. The core. Begins to crack news spread fast. 3 more core worlds surrendered. Others began to rebel, not against the humans, but against their own leaders. Council flags were burned. People chanted, "Let them speak. Let them judge. Let them remember." Scene. The council's last hope only. 1 core world remained untouched, Lunaris Prime. There, the last council generals gathered. They activated the Omega Protocol, a final weapon, hidden, illegal, forbidden. If we must fall, they must fall with us. But they had forgotten one thing. The humans had already seen this weapon before. They knew how to destroy it. Across the galaxy, people once feared to speak against the council. But now, after seeing what the humans had shown, after the fall of Terrellian 5, they began to whisper, then shout, then stand up. The resistance had started, not against the humans, but against their own rulers. Scene. The planet Varela burns. Its own flags on the planet Varela, students led marches in the streets. They held signs, "We were lied to. Let humanity speak. Truth is not a threat." An old alien professor, Dr. Salin, stood before the crowd. He was once a loyal council advisor. Now he shouted with fire in his voice, "They told us humans were dangerous, but it was us who watched them burn. It was us who let Earth fall, and now we must make it right." People began tearing down council banners. The Virilan security forces refused to fire. One officer even said, "I watched my sister die waiting for council help. Now I'll fight with the humans." Scene. Humanity watches but does not lead back on the human flagship. HSS Iron Dawn, Commander Rourke watched the rebellion unfold. Beside him, Major Aria Dane spoke quietly. "They are waking up." Rourke replied, "Good, but we don't lead them. They must choose this fight themselves. Humanity would not conquer, they would expose and observe and act only when needed." But one thing was clear now. The galaxy was no longer afraid of humans. It was afraid of its own truth. Scene. Not everyone believes, but in the dark corners of space, not all wanted peace. On the prison moon, Drexel 9, a secret meeting was held. There, former Council General Vorak spoke to leaders of 3 powerful species. His voice was filled with hate. The humans are weak, but they use emotions as weapons. We must show the galaxy order, not guilt. He revealed a plan, a weapon called Project Oblivion, a virus that could erase all memory of past events. If deployed, the galaxy would forget. Human pain, forget the rebellion. One alien asked, "Is it not cruel?" Vorak smiled coldly. "Cruelty is a tool, just like silence once was." Scene. Human intelligence discovers the threat. A young human hacker, Juno Lian, intercepted the encrypted transmission. She was only 17, but her mind worked faster than machines. She ran to Admiral Cade. "Sir, someone's planning to erase everything. They want to delete history, ours and theirs." Cade's face turned pale. "Then history must fight back." Scene. The resistance gets organized. Major Aria contacted rebel leaders across the stars. She said only one sentence: "Will you help protect memory?" From Varela, from Xandor, even from inside the Council's own military. All across the galaxy, resistance cells rose up. They called themselves the Rememberers. Scene. The mission to Drexel 9A small team was chosen. Arya Dane, the voice of humanity. Juno Leon, the young hacker. Captain Harlan Voss, a rogue pilot from the Rim. Tava Lear, a Xandorian warrior who once hated humans, but now called them brothers. Their mission: infiltrate Drexel 9, destroy Project Oblivion. They had 48 hours before the virus launched. They failed. The truth would vanish forever. Scene: infiltration, under fire. The team landed on Drexel 9 during a storm. Lightning cracked the sky. The air smelled like metal and fear. Guards spotted them early. A firefight broke out. Tava's energy blades clashed with alien tech. Captain Voss flew a stolen drone into a guard tower. Juno plugged into the central server under heavy fire. Arya covered her with a pulse rifle. "How long, Juno?" "5 minutes. Keep them off me." They held. Barely. Juno found the virus, core, and rewrote it. She didn't delete it. She changed it. Now, instead of erasing memories, it broadcasted them to everyone. Scene: memories. Flood the stars across the galaxy. Screens flickered. People saw Earth in flames. A mother covering her child from falling debris. A soldier holding his dying friend. A young boy whispering, "Please help us," to a council ship that never responded. People wept. Then they saw more. Humans rebuilding cities from ruins, saving alien ships lost in deep space, refusing to become monsters when they easily could. Scene: the Mask of the Council. Falls Vorak screamed in rage. They've infected the galaxy with guilt. But it was too late. The people had seen the truth. And truth could not be unseen. His own guards turned on him. "You lied to us." One fired. Vorak fell. Not as a hero, not as a warrior, but as a coward who feared truth. The stars had changed. After the failure of Project Oblivion, billions of beings across the galaxy had seen the truth. They saw Earth's pain. They saw the Council's silence. And they saw the strength of humanity, not in war, but in endurance. Rebellions were growing. The Council was collapsing. But in this moment of rising hope, one man was preparing to end it all from the inside. Scene: Admiral Cade holds a secret. On the human command ship HSS Iron Dawn, Admiral Elias Cade stood. Alone in his private quarters, he looked at a small, glowing cube in his hand. It pulsed with alien energy. It was a gift. Or maybe a curse. 6 months ago, before Earth was attacked, he had met with a mysterious elder known only as the Whisperer. The Whisperer had made a deal. "Let the Council destroy one human city. In return, we give you access to our ancient weapon. A device to control minds. No more war, no more suffering, just order." Cade had refused, but the cube had appeared in his hands anyway, and now, as rebellions spread, as chaos bloomed across the stars, he was thinking about using it. What if peace needs control? Scene: suspicion in the ranks major. Arya Dane was no fool. She had served under Cade for years. She noticed the change. He was distant, cold. His orders were strict, sometimes cruel. He denied aid to a Virilan rebel ship begging for repairs. He refused to answer messages from Arya. She shared her fears with Juno Leon and Commander Rourke. Something's wrong with the Admiral. He's hiding something. Juno narrowed her eyes. Then let's find it. Scene: the Discovery Juno hacked into Cade's encrypted files. It took hours. Finally, she found it. A meeting log, the Whisperer's voice. A blueprint for a device called the Veil, a planet-wide field that could erase free will. And worst of all, Cade had already ordered its construction on New Terra. the last human colony. Rourke slammed his fist on the table. He's building a cage for all of us. Scene. Confrontation area stormed into the command chamber. Cade stood over the galaxy map, staring silently. "You lied to us," Arya said. Cade didn't turn. "I protected us." "By turning us into tyrants?" He faced her now. His eyes were cold, empty. "The galaxy does not understand kindness, only control." "That's not who we are," she whispered. "Maybe it should be." Suddenly, security alarms blared. Cade had triggered lockdown. He activated the Veil on. New Terra from orbit. People on the colony began to lose their thoughts, their choices, their freedom. Scene. Civil war on the ship Commander Rourke and loyal crew tried to stop the Admiral's forces. Blaster fire echoed through the corridors of Iron Dawn Juno, disabled doors to slow enemy troops. Tava Lear led hand-to-hand fights, refusing to let humans become the monsters they had once feared. Arya reached the central command bridge. Cade stood waiting, gun raised. Scene. Final choice area. Aimed her weapon at Cade. "Turn it off!" Cade stepped closer. "Do you really think chaos is better? We have a chance to guide the galaxy, to lead it, without fear." "No," Arya said, her voice shaking. "We lead with truth, not mind control." "Then you've doomed us all," he fired. So did she. One shot hit the control panel. One hit Cade's shoulder. He collapsed. Sparks flew. The Veil system overloaded. And then the control signal to New Terra died. The people were free again. Scene. The Whisperer speaks again. In the chaos, a message came through, encrypted, old but clear. It was the Whisperer. "Fools. You choose freedom over order. Then watch what your freedom brings." Behind the voice, flashes of a new threat. Ships, dark, silent, unknown, a third force, watching, waiting, ready. The galaxy was no longer the same. The council was broken. Rebellions were spreading. Humanity had won its fight for truth, but peace didn't come. Something darker had arrived. Ships with no names, weapons no one had seen before. They didn't send warnings. They didn't ask questions. They just appeared and destroyed. One by one, outer planets went silent. Even the elders were afraid now. They whispered one name: the Forgotten Ones. Scene. The warnings. Begin on Earth. Alarms screamed. Satellites showed black ships. Near the edge of the solar system. These weren't council ships. They were larger, colder, silent. The human fleet, still repairing from the last war, wasn't ready. Admiral Cade, locked away in a deep space prison, said only one thing: "They've finally come. We're all too late now." Scene. Arya leads the last stand major. Arya Dane was now commander of the fleet. She had no time to rest. The enemy was moving fast. Too fast. Planets were being erased. Not conquered, just erased. They didn't speak. They didn't leave survivors. They were wiping out the galaxy, one system at a time. "They're not just attacking," Arya said. "They're cleansing, like they want to erase all memory of us." She called every ally. Virelians. Darkai, Zyran rebels, most answered. The ones who didn't had already gone dark. Scene. A message from the past Juno Leon, digging through elder data vaults, found a final warning. A message thousands of years old, left by the first races the elders had erased. "They are older than time. Born. In the dark between galaxies. They do not want peace. They do not want war. They want silence." They were called the Null Kin. And the elders had kept them locked behind a star prison until now. Scene. Earth must be defended. The human fleet moved into position. Above Earth, a wall of ships formed. Each captain knew this might be the end, but none ran. They had faced the galaxy's hate. They had survived betrayal. They had earned the respect of 1,000 races. Now, they had to earn survival. Scene. The final battle begins. The Null Kin arrived without warning. A wave of black ships poured into the system. Their weapons were silent. But every blast turned metal into ash, matter into dust. The first human line held for 10 minutes. Then it collapsed. But the second line didn't move back. It pushed forward. Commander Rourke, bleeding, shouted, "They want silence? Then let's make some noise!" Human ships exploded around him, but not in fear. They exploded into Null Kin ships, using themselves as bombs. Each life was spent like a blade. Each second bought more time. Scene. Cade's redemption on. The prison ship, Cade asked to speak with Arya. "I know their weakness," he said. "But you won't like it." Arya hesitated. "We don't have time for games. They feed on thought, on memory. You must turn the veil back on, planet-wide. Wipe all minds. Give them nothing." Arya was horrified. "You want me to erase Earth?" Cade looked down. "It's that or extinction." Scene. A better idea, but Juno had another plan. "We use partial veil. We create fake minds, fake memories, loud and endless. Feed them noise, trick them." Using Elder Tech, she sent billions of false signals into space. Happy voices, screams, laughter, fear, billions of fake humans living fake lives. The Null Kin paused. They turned toward the noise. They began to feed, but they didn't notice. It wasn't real. Scene. The counterattack, with the Null Kin distracted, Arya gave the order. "Fire everything." Humanity launched its final strike. Kinetic weapons, ancient elder bombs. Even the core of Earth's broken moon fired like a bullet. One by one, the black ships shattered. The remaining Null Kin, confused and hungry, faded into the dark. They weren't defeated, but they were driven away.